It's another good day. It's a little foggy in my favorite park. Cops don't really bother you down here on the weekends because it's kind of it's close to downtown, close to all the bars. And they know the people that are pulling into this park late at night, probably just young couples full of passion and I mean, I see them all the time because I'm just sitting here, cooking simple meals and up rolls, some souped up Mazda or, just a regular, 2002 Mazda with, the fin and stupid lights and all that. You got your teenage boy and his girl. They're down here, just here to check out the stars, like... You ever wonder if the stars are staring back at us? Oh my God, you're so deep. Not as deep as you, baby. Yeah, just... Good for them, Good for people that, find love that still has that sense of adventure, it's one thing I like out of this, even if people think I'm a rambling psychopath. It's just discussions on, just life in general. I used to be that age, and I remember that, I'd worked all summer, so I had some money saved up. I had a car, I was 17 and one of the first kids to have a car. Even though it was a piece of crap, it was a car. It represented freedom. My friends and I would bomb down to the coast where I'd almost kill people trying to get around them on the coastal highway because I'm an idiot. And, the first times I ever made out with a girl. Just those little experiences that, you see them in people around you as you get older. You see the young people roll up in their car, and it's just the guy and his girlfriend, and they look like they're fucking kids. And you're like, dude, right on. That's still alive. That butterflies in the stomach feeling, being with somebody that for night and day, you just, no other thought was anything but of them. You did your homework, you maybe played, for me, just to set the example of where I was at, you do your homework, you go to school, you go through all the paces there, and you come home and maybe you play video games, but laced in and out is just thoughts of this other person. And, a lot of it was probably driven by hormones. You could explain away a lot of that stuff as just... That's Orion, by the way. You can see the belt. Dude, this camera is actually picking this up pretty awesome. I should just become an astronomy channel. Because I know, Mars is down there. You can't see it right now. I think it's obscured by a tree. And then if I'm not mistaken, you follow Orion out to Vega. Oh my God, look at how well this is picking that up. That's nuts, dude. This star that you can see right here, my SCP finger, I can barely see that with a naked eye. And then that little guy that's sitting right next to him, I can just barely make out a blur of that. These other three stars that you see, the one right there, there, and there, I can't even see those with the naked eye. That's nuts. These cameras are getting crazy. Look at that transition between, the one silhouetted star against this sea of darkness. You zoom in a little bit and look. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's crazy. Isn't that just beautiful? You look at the Perseid star cluster, which I think is up here. If this guy is Vega, I'm trying to align my camera correctly. Okay, so right up here, you can faintly see that. That's the Perseid star cluster, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. It does pick it up. I had a monocular that could distinguish between the individual stars. To the naked eye, that just looks like a smudge. That's crazy. Look at that. That is the Perseid star cluster. If I'm on, I feel like I'm mistaken now that I say it out loud. I know it's a star cluster. I'm fairly certain it's the Perseid star cluster, but I could be wrong. And I'm sure, please, let's discuss astronomy on my channel. I would love that. Oh my God. It's, well, I'm sure you can probably hear the general level of excitement that I have in that compared to everything else that I'm posting about. Like, I start seeing star clusters and things like that. Man, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if I can pick it up, because can't see my finger. There's my finger. There's a tree here, but that star, or what looks like a star, is actually Mars. Man, look at that. That's incredible. My eyes could not see that. I mean, I can see kind of what you guys are seeing, but like it's kind of blurry. Not like distinct spot. Look at that. You can see the red flash. Like, yeah, there's the blue flash of some, I believe as you travel to ultraviolet, you're losing wavelength, but there's a lot of energy. And where you see ultra red, it's low energy, but like ultra high frequency, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure, again, I would love to see in the comments people be like, oh no, I'm an engineer, and that's not the way light works. That's not the wavelength to, relative energy calculation. I love that stuff. Please do. But whoa, did you guys see that? The way that Mars just like flared like that? That was crazy. That's awesome. For whatever reason, there was just a higher amount of energy refracted from Mars to Earth, which I'm sure it must have taken, I don't want to say a couple minutes. I feel like it might be like 7 or something minutes for light to reach Mars from the sun. And then I would imagine, be an additional couple minutes for it to refract back to Earth to exactly the sensors in my phone. It's like, that's quite possibly 10-minute old light that just a simple flare that caused what you guys just saw. That's from what my understanding of it is. And again, I'd love to hear from somebody who actually knows, because this stuff is fascinating to me. It's so beautiful. You guys can't see much in this filter, in this space, but again, in that zoom, you get to see so much more than I can see. Oh, like, I want to be out there. It's so disappointing that our species is focused on such, I don't want to diminish what people put so much of their own character towards, their hero's journey. The ends to which they justify all the means of their lives. But it just seems to pale in comparison to going out there. To learning more about the stars and the universe. I don't know. I mean, it's always been something that's united all peoples. It's a fascination of the skies. You know, we've navigated ships by it. We've based religions on it. You know, our entire understanding of our relative size in the universe depends on this direct observation of the universe. I imagine that fuzz that you all see, that's photons bouncing off the air particles that comprise the thin veil of clouds above me, this fog that I'm in. Like all these little dots, this little matrix, like perturbance. I mean, it's so wonderful. It's so incredible that, like, regardless of religious belief or any other, you know, firmly held beliefs in the existence of nature, you can't help but just wonder. You know, it's one of those few things that I feel like could really unite our species in its entirety. That we'll never, we'll never get along based off of trying to get each other to comply with our own beliefs. It'll never happen. We will have to just, as the young people say, take the L or accept the loss. That we're never going to think alike completely. But some things, like a fascination in astronomy, gazing up at these stars, this infinite universe, this, marvelous creation of whatever you want in a creator or whatever you can fathom, it's all there. It's beautiful. It's uncaring. And in that sense, it's all accepting. I know it just seems like rambling, but I know there's so few things that I can say with confidence that would, people are always looking for solutions for X, Y, and Z, myself included, for things like homelessness. But we also don't focus on those things that unify us with such, fervency. I mean, I know that the argument's been raised before of, like, could you imagine if the extraneous money we spend on fighting each other was put towards space exploration? How far we'd be. And yeah, there's people that argue like, well, then we wouldn't focus on things down here. And I'm not arguing it's not important to focus on problems that we have, but just the money, only the money that's spent on fighting each other. Like, just calculate that, the amount of money spent just trying to kill or be able to outkill each other. If that was diverted to literally anything else, any other issue, fill the blank. Like, what is important? And just imagine that amount of money being poured towards that issue. And to be fair, you could divide that money amongst several issues, and it would still be an incredible boon to humanity. There's a lot of arguments and counter arguments, but I don't know. Just being out here makes you wonder.